What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I just want to talk about the elephant in the room in regards to getting these old vehicles. Like I said before, getting these cars, it's easier to work on them though, right? Because now when you think about the new cars have all these new tech and all that stuff, a lot of things that either you have to be up to date with it. Now, keep in mind, even the mechanics that work at these dealerships, sometimes they have to go for retraining, right? Because all these new cars are coming, so many new techs and stuff like that, things that are quite different from the traditional, just fixing the car, maybe a loose bolt here, whatever, though, replacing a part. It seems to be a lot more involved in the new cars, right? So I'll speak specifically right now. As you guys know, that is 09 GS350 that we have on the channel. We've had it longer. I think it's our oldest vehicle right now, followed by the blue Subaru and then the 4Runner. Actually, no. The oldest car we have is the '07 Corolla. That's one we've had since day one. Well, since we started the new version of the YouTube. Because again, I had another YouTube channel, which is the same thing, but I deleted all the videos that I had for the old Subaru. Anyway, long story short, we're gonna talk about Subarus, right? So a lot of folks right now, if you look, there's a trend into BMW. A lot of people getting BMWs. They're a lot faster to deal with, right? You just do a few things. They increase so much horsepower. I'm not too familiar with German engineering though. I keep hearing about a chip. You put a chip and then all of a sudden you gain 100 horsepower, 200 horsepower. I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's cool. I think it's great, especially if you're just chasing speed and you want to keep up with the high-end cars that are out there, the faster cars that are out there. That's a great way to go. If you think about it though, a while back ago, maybe 17 years ago or so, or even more than that, almost 20 at this point, when these cars came out, the 04 STI, this is an '07, but when the 04 STI came out and the Evo 3, I mean not the Evo 3, the Evo 8 came out in 2003, I believe. Again, that was again, that's what you're getting. All these guys with Chargers, BMWs, that seemed to be the trend. But anyways, when these cars came out, these cars were monsters, right? Because they were a little four-cylinder turbocharged vehicles that kept up with, Mustang Cobras and all that stuff, though. And everyone was like, how is a four-cylinder turbo vehicle keeping up with, like V8s, right? So that used to be the thing, though. So that was a good trend. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people older than me, they were like, oh yeah, they're getting all these, Subarus and Evos and thinking that they're the shit and all that stuff. Excuse my language, but thinking that they are that, So I'm feeling the same way right now, especially with the BMWs. Though a lot of these young kids are just getting these high-end cars. I don't know how much they cost. I could only estimate this from 80 grand going up. I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I don't keep up with today's market as I'm invested more into the mid 2000 vehicles than 95 to 2010 vehicles. That's what I'm interested in. So these kids are getting these cars and they're making way more power, running fast on the street. And when you think about it, though, these days is all about horsepower, right? If you're making small horsepower, if you're not making that much horsepower, though, you're irrelevant. You deemed to be a slow person. But really, sometimes it's just enjoying these cars. Like this car here, you don't need 1,000 horsepower. Great. If you drag racing and doing that kind of stuff, cool. But this car right now only makes 389 horsepower at the wheels, so it's roughly 410 at the crank. This car is so much fun, like honestly, and when I drive it, I feel like it's the fastest cars out there. Obviously, it's not, right? I'm not saying it's the fastest. It's not even close to being even fast, right? But it's quick, it's fun. You go through the gears and stuff like that, and you keep up with a lot of traffic. Sometimes you beat cars you're not supposed to beat, right? With only 389. You gotta consider though, these cars are more manual though, right? You feel it's a driver's car. You drive it, you feel the road, you feel the noises. There's really not much comfort in this car at all, though. There's really no comfort in it. Is what you see is what you get, right? Some of these cars, especially the 04 STI, never even came with a radio. You know what I mean? At least this one came with a radio and stuff like that. If you look at the market for the STI, a lot of people started complaining. It doesn't even come with a sunroof. Why am I paying so much for it? Because people every now and then forget the purpose of that vehicle, right? It wasn't meant for comfort. You know what I mean? Yes, a radio is good and all that stuff, though. But the thing is, remember, these cars were meant to race. You just drive them. You drag race them or you street race them, whatever, though, and that's it. That's what they were meant to be, though. So the reason that I, again, got this older vehicle, this is my daughter STI, is I like it. Now, would I recommend it to a young person that's just coming up, that just wants to have a fast car and trying to keep up with social media? No. The reason for that is, especially for a Subaru, You just have to have a lot of patience with it. Subarus are not the best cars to make power by all means, right? And the main thing is we have shops that think they know how to work on Subarus, but they don't, right? Remember, this is a boxer engine, right? Two cylinders that way, two cylinders this way, though, right? So it's a opposed cylinder, right? Boxing, right? That's what they say. So get a shop that knows how to deal with these cars. Don't waste your money on local shops just because of convenience. That hey, they work on Subarus, oh, I think they're good. No, just make sure you do your due diligence. Find out what shops works on Subarus and look at their track record. Look at their customers. Look at even go the ratings on Google. Just see what customers are saying about them, right? Like for this car alone right now, I have a shop that's close by. It's called Yates Automotive, right? It's a shop that I do trust, right? They can do all my maintenance, small bills here and there, and I trust them for that, right? But for as far as tuning and even bigger things, Prime Automotive in New Jersey, that's the shop that I'll take this car to, right? It's far from me. I think it's what almost 400 miles away from me, though. It's far, right? So, and that's the reason why I haven't done nothing crazy with this car as far as power, because I know anything I add to it, it needs to get a tune. Like right now, I want to go ahead and get the HKS exhaust. I don't like the Cobb exhaust that it comes with, but I want to get all these parts first and get it tuned, right? This engine is pretty old. I think he has about 45,000 miles on it. It was installed in 2017. It's an IEG 550 block. And so taking it there, though, I want to do the compression test and stuff like that. I want them to do it because they the guys that are going to tune it, right? Now, if I wanted Yates Automotive to tune it, then I'll let them do the compression test and, all that stuff, though. But since I want to take it to New Jersey, though, I'll have to wait, buy all the parts that I need to get. Like, I want to get the injectors, HKS exhaust, a radium hanger, and two 450 pumps, right? I want to do that because with this car, I want 450. 450 horsepower is great. And that's pushing the envelope because, this block is rated for 500 horsepower, though, right at the crank. So probably even 430 might be okay with it, though, But I'm not looking for any crazy horsepower or anything like that. Even 400 might be good. I know I'm all over the map, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking for anything crazy. So again, what I'm trying to say is if you want a fast car that you want to spend less money on, get the new cars, the BMWs, right? Get them, do whatever you want to do with them. The Mustangs, they're the same thing too, though. Get those. Like, those are great cars. I'm not bashing them, but I'm saying don't get yourself an older Subaru and then say the Subaru suck because either you're not able to keep up with it or you're taking to the wrong shops. Just do your due diligence, do your homework, and just make sure you do your work. Don't blame it on shops. Shops here, most of these shops, especially these days, are here to make money, though. So if you take them a vehicle and tell them you want A, B, C, D, more than likely they will not say no, right? But then again, you suffer because now you have a car that does not function well, got issues. Is really not the shop's fault. Shops are there to make money these days. The mama and papa shops that used to be there that wanted good for you, those are long and gone, right? If you think about it, the generation that's here right now is my generation, right? I'm the 80s kid, and most of us are the ones that own shops now, though. Our peers, pretty much our, how am I going to say, though? Our parents are retiring right now, though. So, again, they're not doing, they're not doing this kind of stuff anymore. And then it gets to a point where you don't want to be in charge of a shop anymore. You just want to leave it to the young people, and that's what happens, right? So, yeah, just do your due diligence. Don't blame it on the car. Like my car right now, the same way I bought it almost 3 years ago, it runs perfect. Like, I haven't driven it in 2 weeks now. I really, really wanted to drive it today. It's Monday. I don't like driving on weekdays, though, but I'll wait for the weekend. And when I drive it extremely hard. Main reason is because I don't drive it, right? So I enjoy it so much. No issues with it at all, though. No issues with it at all. My old car, again, a lot of issues. Main reason being, it's a car that was tuned by another shop and worked on by another shop that always messed up the car, though, right? So you always want to make sure you do your right job. So anyways, I don't want to keep on repeating myself too much and saying the same old song and stuff like that, though. But what I'm trying to say is just do your homework and everything's going to be all right, right? So Subarus are not bad. Evos are not bad. They're older vehicles, obviously, though. Just be patient with them. And then again, for a four-cylinder, pushing all this power, remember, it wasn't meant to be doing all that stuff. Pushing 1,000 horsepower on a four-cylinder, don't expect it to last forever. You know what I mean? Especially if you're using it for the right purposes, like drag racing it. Lots of people with deep pockets or people that know what they're doing, they can build their own engines, whereby they blow it up, oh, well, they're going to put a new engine on it or rebuild the one in there, though. But if you're a guy that don't do your own work, don't push too much power on these cars. Like honestly, 500 horsepower on this car is solid. It's actually a lot, because knowing that these cars are only just a little bit of a 3,000 pounds, heavy. That's it. They're not that heavy, honestly. And with the right things on it, like wheels, seats, you can actually shed some weight out of it and probably make and be just under 3,000 pounds, right? So you can do that, but then again, you lose the comfort of the vehicle. You hear all the noises. These cars are noisy already though, so taking out the carpet and all that stuff, the AC, is terrible, man. But yeah, all right, sorry for the ranting though. Just wanted to give you guys that description of what these cars are. Same thing with like this car, the Lexus is an '09. It's a lot easier to work on. The reason I have the hood open, I made a video of it last year where my trunk would not open, and the recommendation for it was disconnect the negative battery, let it sit for 10 minutes or so, or even 20 minutes, but they say 10 minutes, and then after that, connect it back. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just waiting on it to do all that stuff and then connect it back, because I'm tired of opening the trunk with a key. It's good to open it with the key fob or like the trunk opener or whatever though. So yeah, all right guys, thanks for subscribing. Thank you for those that subscribe to the channel though. We are growing, and I hope to make more better videos, education purposes, and also start doing more work. A couple years ago I used to work on these cars. I haven't done that in a while, so I need to start doing that. I think I want to install the hood dampers on this. It has the rod that you put up here though, so I'd rather have the 2 dampers there though. It's kind of cool. So I'll probably do that for the next video though, and some other stuff. So all right guys, thanks again for watching. Yeah, see you guys later. Thank you. Bye.